Hello, loyal subjects. Today I come to you from an unspecified location of sunshine and beauty. Welcome to winter in Australia. Today we are talking about The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. First book in the Chaos Walking trilogy. Now, this book, I don't even know what to say. I actually recorded a small reaction right after I finished it, so take a look at that.
Everything sucks. There is no such thing as hope. It doesn't exist. Everything is awful. Everything is cruel. There's no such thing as good things. They never happen. Everything in the world is one big lie that is going to destroy your soul and make you wish you never learnt how to read, because it's the worst thing ever. There's no such thing as fairness. Any divine justice you've ever heard of is all a big fat lie weaved together to lead you down the misconstructed path of hope, because that doesn't exist. Any faith you had in the world will eventually be destroyed. What's the point in living?
Also, pay no mind to the small children and kittens in the background. So anyway, this book, I loved it. It was amazing, for starters, so just read this. So it is a sci-fi trilogy set in this place called New World, where basically the old world isn't that great. It's been overrun by like poverty and trash, and everyone's fighting each other all the time, and it's not very great place to live. So these people decided to get into a spaceship and go to this place called New World, where they were hoping to just start new lives for each other, be a better place. And we find that we're in this place called Prentice Town, where all the women are dead and everyone can hear each other's thoughts from this thing called the noise, which was a result in a war that the men had with the native alien species on this country. And it follows a boy named Todd, who is the last person in Prentice Town to become a man. And they say that once you become a man, a bunch of stuff happens. But things take a unexpected turn. So that's all I can really say. Just that it was really good. I really liked it. It was very sad at times, but also it was just an amazing book. Extremely fast-paced. There's never a dull moment. So I would say read this, then come back and we can talk about it. Okay? Okay. Alright, so we learn from pretty early on that Prentice Town is not a very nice place to live in. There aren't really a lot of nice people in this town. And since Todd is the last boy, he isn't really treated that well, I guess, because once you become a man, you don't talk to mere boys anymore. But I just was very shocked at how poorly this place was doing. Like, there were only like 148 men, entire people in this place, and I thought that's the population of the entire planet. Really, 148. That was insane. Like, and since there are no women, obviously they can't have more children, so that place is gonna die out pretty quickly. Not to mention there are all these mysterious disappearances, so obviously the place ain't doing so great. And then Todd has to run away for some reason, and as soon as all that shit was going down, I was like, what is happening? And we have these questions throughout the entire book, and they don't get answered until a bit towards the end. So that was just, I really wanted to know what was going on. And of course when he meets Viola, and we know that Prentice Town hasn't exactly been the most truthful place on the planet. And there are all these other settlements and colonies that Todd had no idea about and that no one ever told him about. And I thought, okay, this is some shady shit going on right here. Oh, what that part when he was in the swamp and he didn't kill Aaron. I just was like, you fool. First rule of book, never just assume someone is dead. I wanted like a stopped heart, faded look in the eyes, decapitated head, whatever it took to know 100% sure that he was dead. And, oh, shocker, he didn't die. Seriously, he just kept coming back over and over and over again. I thought, what is happening? Is this, I seriously thought this guy had some sort of superhuman strength or something that made him be able to withstand these fatal injuries and not die. Like, let's go through a list here. He got half his face torn off by an alligator, got his head bashed in by a rock repeatedly and was left to die in a swamp. Then he got his nose ripped off by a dog, repeatedly got cut up and stuff. Where did he even get food? That's what I want to know too. Where did he even get food? How did he keep finding them again and again? It was just ridiculous. Oh my god, when he killed Manchi, I was so upset because I could tell that it wasn't gonna go well. Because for one thing, Todd actually explained his plan before the plan was in motion, and you know that never spells good stuff. So I was worried, and then of course the worst thing happened and Manchi died. So mad. I can't even put it into words how upset I was when that happened. Now, the relationship between Todd and Viola, that was very interesting because they come from completely different walks of life. Like, Todd has been raised in this uneducated fashion on a farm his whole life because the mayor is some dickwad who didn't want books to be around and no one could read or write. And especially that came into play with the way he narrated the story, because like words would purposely be misspelled. I was having a hard time imagining his accent. In my head, he just sounded Australian, and so did everyone else, which would make sense because Patrick Ness is an Australian author. Anyway, we're getting off track. Todd and Viola. I could understand why there was so much culture shocks between them, like when Viola was so weirded out when she found out that they buried dead people, and she's like, that can't be sanitary. She would constantly say things like, well, when we come onto this planet and colonate it, it's going to be so much better because your thing is wrong, ours is right. Which I think that's very truthful to how people actually react in their day-to-day lives when it comes to different ways of living. It was just so annoying that Todd could never manage to kill a person. First he didn't kill Aaron, then he hesitated when that Dick Prentice Jr. guy was chasing them, and then obviously he got like cut down and Viola had to save him. How many times did that happen? And then when he finally did kill someone, it was a harmless spackle. That was so hard to read because I was like, no, Todd, stop, don't do this, you're making a mistake. And he did it. I really wanted Viola to stop him. That was such a sad moment, really. I think I was actually more sad with the whole spackle thing than when Manchi died, and that's weird, right? Throughout the thing about him becoming a man, and he wants to become a man, and he's not worth anything until he becomes a man. And it was just so... it sucked a lot. We keep hearing about this big secret because the whole world seems to hate Prenticetown, and as soon as that word pops up in anyone's mind, they're immediately hostile to Todd and Viola. And I wanted to know why. Why does everyone hate Prenticetown so much? What is going on? What is it when they become a man? What happens? And Ben shows up again, which I was like, oh, yay, Ben. That was like one of the only happy moments in this entire book. And he kept getting interrupted as soon as he was about to tell Todd everything. He stopped. He would get interrupted and shit would happen. That was annoying. Then I thought, oh, we're never gonna know, are we? But we actually found out, and to find out that the mayor was this one who led this revolution against the previous ruler of their colony to like kill all the women because they didn't have any noise and they were afraid of them because they knew everything about them and they didn't know anything about them. I kind of saw that coming, and then again, to become a man on Prentisstown you have to kill someone. That's some gang entry shit right there. And then we finally managed to make our way to Haven, this place where we've been told throughout the whole book that they'll finally be safe. They'll have a chance at survival. They'll be away from the army and it'll all be sweet. And of course, who shows up but Aaron again. And so they hide in this underground waterfall church thing, and that guy is seriously one of the most fucked up motherfuckers I've ever read about in my whole life. The way that he talked just made your skin crawl and you're just like, go away, just go away, I don't want you here anymore, you should have died in like chapter 2. Oof. And I liked how that little bit ended, how Viola killed him, because I wanted him to die, but I didn't want Todd to kill him, because all throughout the book I wanted him to kill someone, but then we found out that if he did, he would be like giving in to the army and the mayor would have him in his clutches and stuff, and so I was glad that Viola was the one that killed him, because it was like, bye bitch. We have learnt not to get our hopes up through reading this, that anytime we think something good is going to happen, it gets screwed up by something else happening. So Todd and Viola have been travelling this whole time, and they think maybe, just maybe, there is light at the end of the tunnel, that there is a such thing as hope. Oh, and then they got rid of Aaron, they were making their way back, they were hugging, it was good, they were like, we've done it, and she gets shot. And oh my god, I was so mad. That little bitch who Ben had sacrificed himself, does he killed Ben? He's probably killed Ben. Had come back and he was all, oh, come with me, you're coming with me, bitch. You're coming back to the army. And then I love Todd. He was just like, fuck this. I'm done. I'm so done. Just ignores him, his threats, with the gun pointed at him, and like sets Viola down on the ground and puts his shirt against her wound, and then he manages to flip out the horse and get him to run away. Oh, that was really great. And then of course he's running down to Haven and Viola is like bleeding to death in his arms, and we get there and who is there to greet him but the mayor? They have somehow managed to overthrow the biggest city in this world. Well, supposedly. I still think that, well, I mean, obviously something's got to happen because there's 2 more books. And, oh, it was just like despair. That ending just killed me a bit inside. Right here. I no longer have a heart thanks to that ending. Then, as soon as I finished the book, I read the first short story in the series called The New World, which is just a little short story following Viola and how she got to be in the situation that she was at the start of The Knife of Never Letting Go. That was very cool to see through her perspective and see how much that she was scared of hoping, and how that played into the first book. That ship has to get here eventually. What's going to happen when it does? Because obviously they're not going to bow down to the mayor. But how many people does he have on his side right now? Like, oh my god. I can't tell you. I don't know. Stay tuned for my thoughts on the rest of the series, because I'm going to be reading those books very soon. Alright, and I will see you later. Goodbye.